Hi everybody and welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. My name is Jeremy Tufts and I started a challenge to see if I could learn golf only on my aboutGOLF simulator and then attempt to break 80 for my very first ever round of golf outside. Now, part of the channel that I wanted to build off of that challenge was to be able to share my experience spending a lot of time in the golf simulator, also how to prove that technology is making the game a lot more accessible and a lot less intimidating. But at the same time, I want to share my experiences. What have I learned? And there's one thing in particular that I talk to a lot of people about when I'm helping them build their simulator that kind of raises an eyebrow. And that is simply, how do we take care of our screen? Let's talk about screen health. And we're going to talk about the one thing that I have done, a mistake that I have made that I wish I would have known before because it would have made my screen last much longer than it has. Let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about screen health, okay? This is pretty important. It's boring, but it's really important. So disclaimer here, I'm gonna give a few pointers, some rules almost, of how to keep an impact screen clean and how to protect it from a quicker death that I kind of made the mistake, and I want to make sure that you don't make it. So we'll get to that in a minute. However, the disclaimer is it doesn't matter if you're going to play in your own simulator, in a friend's simulator, or you're renting time at a commercial space. Please respect this simulator. Just follow what I'm saying so that the screen lasts as long as possible. It's incredibly disrespectful to ignore keeping things clean in a commercial space just because it's a commercial space, it's not yours, right? Let's not do that. Let's just help everything last as long as possible because, hey, the screens they're using are the same screens you're using. It's just generally in a commercial space. They're getting a lot more use, so they're gonna wear out a little bit quicker. So what can we do? The quick and dirty. Keep your balls clean. Please clean off your shoes before you come into the sim space and keep your clubs clean before you hit the ball. You should be doing that anyway, right? You should be keeping your clubs clean. But if you've got a bunch of dry dirt inside of your grooves, it's gonna transfer to the screen. Now, dirt on the screen is not the end of the world. It's actually somewhat easy to clean. If you have Sharpie on your ball, because that's what you're using for your mark outside, and that gets on the screen, that can't come out. So please do not Sharpie a ball and hit it into an impact screen. The other thing is if you're doing any sort of ball striking and impact drill and you're trying to see on your club where the ball is being hit, and you use foot spray or you use a sticker that has that blue ink on it, that's gonna transfer. So don't do any of that. Just think a little bit and make sure that you're not using anything that's gonna transfer onto the ball that's gonna hit the screen. Okay, if you want to look at the impact on it, I recommend what Bryson does. He uses painter's tape, blue painter's tape on the club face imprints, and it's a really good way to do it without ruining impact screen. So now that we have the general maintenance out of the way, what's the mistake I made that you don't have to make because I made? Well, it's got to do with the casing on the ball. See, I'm not very smart. I'm brand new to golf. I didn't think about things like this, okay? The aboutGOLF balls have markings on them so that the 3-track can read it, and they're actually not aboutGOLF balls. They're Titleist ProV1s. What I used to do is I would play with these until the black wore off. When the black markings wore off, I'd replace them. I have a decent speed. I'd have friends come over that have professional level of ball speed, and I didn't think about the fact that the screen's made out of a polyester material. If you take a little tiny ball with dimples in it, you wear the casing off so that it's coarse, and you hit it at 100 and whatever miles an hour with thousands of revolutions per minute of spin, it melts the screen. So what you see back here, if you look really closely, that's not dirt. Those are burn marks. They're melt marks because I would use balls that were coarse and they would spin and they would melt my screen. Don't make that mistake. When I speak to people about building their own simulators and helping them through the decision process, I bring this up because they'll ask, what do you do to keep your screen clean? How long do the screens last? And I quickly realized the answer is quite a long time, especially a home simulator. I have played a lot. There are thousands of balls hit into this impact screen, almost to a commercial level. I could have made this thing last a lot longer, okay? It's made to get hit, it's gonna mark, but some of these are so bad because of my choice not to replace the balls because I was being cheap. Spend more money on your balls and replace them. Keep them smooth. Your screen's gonna last a lot longer. So please, learn from my mistake. Now that your screen's gonna last a lot longer because you have learned from my mistake, please like, follow, and subscribe so you can learn more from what I do wrong so that your simulator is gonna last you a heck of a lot longer. You're welcome, and we'll see you next time.